Hey, as I study leadership and as I look throughout the Bible and I look throughout the leadership books that I study, and I've come to a conclusion that confidence is the great convincer. You know, without confidence as a leader, you really can't do a whole lot. Because to be a leader, you have to lead people. And if you have a leadership position and you're not really leading anyone, then you're really not a leader. And in order to lead people, you must first gain people as a follower. Get people to follow you. And, you know, confidence is that difference maker, that convincer, that thing that convinces people to actually follow you. Now, you can have a position as a leader and nobody really follow you. Everybody be doing their own thing. But if you have a position as a leader and you are fully convinced that where you're going and what you're doing is what needs to be done to make a difference, what has to be done to improve things, that confidence that you have begins to exude from you. And when it does, it convinces other people that the same thing must be done. You know, all great leaders had a cause. You know, you don't become a great leader without having a cause, something to invest your life in, something to give up more of your life than you would normally give, to put in hours that you wouldn't normally put in, to believe in something that is bigger than you are. And when you believe in something that's bigger than you are and are convinced that it has to be done before you pass on from this earth, then that communicates confidence. You know, when you know something needs to be done and you're confident that you need to do it, and you begin to move in that direction and then begin to talk to other people about it, you exude a confidence that is contagious, a confidence that convinces others to buy into the cause that you have bought into. And it's always a cause that's bigger than we are. To be a leader, you've got to have that cause. And you've got to be convinced of that cause. And not only be convinced of it, but be able to convey your conviction with the confidence that you need as a leader. I know we've all been in leadership positions, and we've seen a multitude of leaders, and you know, I've seen leaders that weren't confident. You know, they may believe something needs to be done, they may believe that they need to move in a direction, but because of their own insecurities and their own need for acceptance and whatever's going on inside of them, it kept them from being able to lead with confidence. And when they stepped into the leadership position, it never moved from being a position to having the permission to lead people. And truthfully, someone who leads from just position only doesn't have a lot of confidence. You know, you have to, as a leader, have that confidence, because that confidence convinces others to follow. Now, in order to have confidence in something, you got to know where you're going. You can't just, as a leader, be confident about a bunch of stuff and not know where you're going. In fact, if you don't have a goal, if you don't have a direction, I suggest you take some time and examine yourself and figure out where you're going. And then get confident about it. Get encouraged about it. Believe that that's where you're supposed to go. Because when that happens, then others get convinced. So you got to have a goal. You got to have somewhere you're going. And as a leader, you always know what you're working for and where you're headed and what the big goals are and why you're doing what you're doing. Because without a why, without a destination or a goal or a direction to do what you're doing, it's hard to be confident about where you're going. You know, and just because you're confident doesn't mean you have all the answers. You know, you may know where you're going, but you may not have all the answers to get there. You may not have, you know, all the ins and outs of every step to get there, but you just know this is where we need to go. And if you're a confident leader, others will rally around you. You know, it just reminds me of a story that I happen to be a part of. And as a leader that was leading people during this time, it just reminds me of the confidence and seeing what God did with the confidence that we had. We were part of a denomination on a really small property. We were landlocked. We had grown in that church. We had grown in that church to where we had maxed it out, and we needed more property. and we needed to move. And being part of a denomination with banks, that gave you backing, because they knew if you couldn't meet your bills, then the denomination would pay for the building. Well, the denomination didn't have confidence in us, so we chose to move out of that, out of it, and become a separate entity. And we became a separate church, and we found a piece of property that the property itself was $2 million. Well, being a young church and not having a lot of financial backing, the banks really don't want to loan us any money. But our leader, and not only our leader, but our leadership team was confident that that's the direction we needed to go. $2 million. We were so confident in it that we all signed personal guarantees that we would pay the $2 million back, no matter if anybody else went or not. But because of our confidence, because we knew that that was our destination, that that's where we needed to go, and that's what we needed to do, and it was far beyond where we were, but it was for the next generation. It was for people who had not come to know Christ yet. So we knew that was where we needed to go, and so we signed away pretty much everything: our homes, our 401ks, our retirement packages. We signed the line saying, if the church don't pay it, we'll pay it. And we believed in where we were going. But because we had such confidence, when we moved out of that denomination, the 900 people who were part of the church that was in that denomination with us, every one of them followed. Every one of them came with us to the new place, to the new church. And not only did they come, but others came. And the confidence that we had, knowing that's what we needed to accomplish, we dug in. Even though we didn't have all the answers of how we were going to get there or how it was going to be done, we knew it was where we were supposed to go. And as we began to move in that direction, doors began to open. So I want to encourage you today, get you a goal. Be confident about where you're going. And then proclaim that to the people that you want to follow you. Because confidence is the great convincer. And as you're confident about what your purpose is in life and where you're going and the things you need to accomplish in life, and you convey that to other people, it convinces them to follow. Confidence is the great convincer.